Hi, I'm Heather, and today I'll be talking to you about what you can do if you are stuck in a rut. So I have been in many ruts. The past decade of my life really feels like it's been one giant rut of just not knowing what to do next, where I should go, what my next step should be, where I want to be down the road. I don't know, for a lot of that time I've just kind of been trying things and just trying to see what works and not totally knowing where the end destination was. And that's a very uncomfortable place to be, because you just don't know which step to take next. So you're kind of frozen in place because you don't know which path you should take. So there's a lot of different reasons you could be feeling stuck. Maybe you just know that you are not feeling that momentum, or you're not feeling that confidence to start a business or to hit the next level in your fitness goals, or even start a fitness regimen, or should you take that trip you've been wanting to take, should you move to that city you've been wanting to move in. Whatever it is, that feeling of stuck is generally just confusion. It's just a feeling of being in a funk and not knowing how to get out, and I am so familiar with this place. So I have some tips for what to do if you find yourself feeling stuck. The first thing you should do, and this is especially true if you just feel like I literally do not know, I literally don't know what to do next in my business, or where to apply, or what I want to do with my life, whatever it is that's causing you to feel stuck, the first thing you should do is to take a look at your routine. So I think it can be really paralyzing to feel like you have to make these really big decisions and you have to move forward on these big life-altering moves, but really it's the little day-to-day things that make up your long-term experience. So I would just first look at an average day in your life. Are you doing what you really want to be doing, or are you wasting a lot of time? So look at how you're spending your time after work, how you're spending your time in work, what your morning routine looks like. So all you're going to do in this step is to just look at what you're doing and kind of think about how you feel about that. Is this really what you want to be doing, or are you just in the habit of doing these things? You would like to do different things, but you don't feel like you can change, and this is just a constant loop that you've been stuck on, and you are not spending time intentionally. So the second thing you're going to do is you're going to look at those things that you're doing and think about the things that really light you up and make you feel good, and look at the things that make you feel ashamed or not good about yourself, or make you feel kind of sick or extra fatigued. Whatever it is that you're doing, look at the things that make you feel really good and look at the things that make you feel really bad. If nothing has been making you feel very good, like the things you've been doing you just haven't been enjoying, look back maybe over the past year or even a couple years at things you were doing that you really enjoyed and you felt like you had limitless energy to do those things and you love doing them. Look at what those things are, and also think back to a time when you were feeling a lot of momentum and you were feeling a lot of focus and direction. What was going on in your life that caused you to feel like that? And then once you have figured out some of the things you were doing, you are going to do the third thing, which is commit to daily momentum. If you are feeling stuck, you are probably doing things you have been doing for a long time. And this was an epiphany of mine that's very obvious, but I realized something at the start of this year, that if I didn't want this year to look like every other year before it, especially the past 4 years for me in my business, they've looked very similar. I wanted this year to be different. And it dawned on me that if I keep doing the same things, my life is going to look the same. There might be some little changes here and there, but for the most part, it is the same thing year after year. Commit to doing something different daily, and it could be really small, but those little things start to add up and create big change. So that could be scripting, which I talked about in the last video. I'll link that below. It could be meditating, it could be working out in the morning, it could be taking up a new hobby, reading different books than you usually do, joining different groups, getting involved in your community, maybe working a little bit every day on the book you wanted to write or on the business you wanted to launch. Whatever it is, just commit to a little bit of momentum. And I know this is scary, especially if you're not sure if that's the right choice. Like, should I really start this business? Should I really do this thing? Should I really put myself out there and try new things? So the point of this small momentum is it's going to, first of all, show you if that is the right thing, if you're really enjoying doing it, and it feels like less of a commitment than like, yes, I'm doing it, I have to work on this 5 hours every day. Just do a little bit every day, and you will see a lot in your life start to change. Even not on the thing you're working on, but it's just as you're doing this, as you're doing new things, other things are going to start to kind of follow suit and bring new things to you. Number 4 is to pay attention to resistance. So that comes in the form of like intense procrastination, fear, like starting to do something and then just giving up on it. And that will probably happen to you. If you're doing something new, your brain gets a little freaked out because you haven't done this before. And if you're alive up to this point, then your brain doesn't really want you to do new things because it's scary and could kill you. That's just how the brain is wired. It wants you to keep doing the things you've always done because you're alive. So expect that resistance to be there. That's okay. That's not wrong. That doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. It just means that you're doing something new and you're uncomfortable with it, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it if you're really wanting to get something done and you're having a bad week, you feel like you can't get anything done. Just pay attention to when you decide to procrastinate, when you sit down to do something, like when does that resistance come up? And that's okay. It's going to be there and you're going to work through it, but just start paying attention to where it comes up and start thinking about why it's there, what your fears are around it. And from there, you can work on it and break through those blocks to really get the momentum going. And then last, number 5, is to keep your perspective. A lot of times when we're trying to do new things or we're feeling stuck or we're not sure what to do next, it's because we've got a lot of stories in our head that's telling us that these routes are scary or they're gonna fail for this reason or that reason. So we're really kind of blowing things out of proportion usually, thinking like, oh, if I start this business and it fails, this, and this will happen, when in reality, that's probably not the case. Start to pay attention to where you're catastrophizing and thinking worst case scenario, and start to really think like, okay, if I did this thing and it didn't work out, what could happen? And you'll start to realize that the things that could happen are usually not as big of a deal as you were kind of making them out to be. And also, you have to think about the fact that if you try things and they don't work out as you planned, that's a huge learning experience. So I always tell myself, because I'm afraid of lots of things, so I always tell myself, if the only reason I don't want to do this thing is because of fear, like irrational fear, not like skydiving or something, if it's an irrational fear, like I'm just afraid, it's just something new, it makes me uncomfortable, then I make myself do it. Because you're gonna learn so much from that and you're not gonna get anywhere by just staying where you feel comfortable. So remember that sometimes you have to do a lot of things and you have to fail at a lot of things to really find the thing that you want. And also don't forget that you don't have to do everything right now. You can do just little things along the way. You probably have a very long career ahead of you. There's a lot that's going to happen in your life over the coming decade. So don't feel like everything has to happen tomorrow and you have to be an expert right now. Just be okay with taking some little steps, veering off course a little bit, and you'll get more comfortable with it and it'll be easier to take bigger steps along the way and make those leaps that are really going to change your life. So that's it for this video. You can also check out the blog post below in the description box. I wrote a blog post about this topic a while back. It's a little bit different than the video, so check that out if you would like. Subscribe for new videos every week. I do a lot of mindset motivation. I'm going to be doing some productivity videos coming up here soon. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.